Okay, so today's the 21st of August. Hopefully the last hot day for a while. Let's look at um, problem 9 on the first, what's on the second page. Problem 9. The question says find the perimeter of the rectangle below. And I'll just sketch this out. If I press enough buttons. That thing is way far away. Yeah, wait a minute, I gotta unlock it.
Okay.
Thanks. I had a freeze on here. I had something official up, so I had it frozen. Now, here's the problem mostly, and you'll notice the dimensions on the paper are inches. Let's change that to feet. You'll see why in a minute. And, well, that's a really small room, isn't it? Let's do this. Let's put a 1 in front of everything. I'm trying to make a room, okay? So let's just assume here that it always bothers me when I don't do it just right. Let's make it,
So are you counting the .4? Is that 4 inches or
it's 0.4
4?
feet of a foot. Yeah, so that's not 4 inches.
Right, that's what I was asking.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll look at that in a minute. That's a good point.
Well, I done construction for a lot of years, so.
Yeah, well, it's something that a lot of people have trouble with, doing conversions.
My calculator does that.
Yeah, but there's a simple way of doing it, and I'll show you what it is. So I've changed this. I've changed the feet, and I've put a 1 in front of everything. This is a really big living room, I guess. Or maybe this is a combination of living room and what? Kitchen? Anyway, it's just a room. So the question as written, I guess I could change that because I've changed everything else. What is the perimeter? Perimeter? How about sum of outside edges? You like that? I can live with that. So the perimeter of this one would be 12.4 plus 18.75 plus 12.4 plus 18.75. So on the calculator, 12.4 plus 18.75 plus 12.4 plus 18.75. What'd y'all get? 62.3. Push a few more buttons here. Now, 62.3 is a number. Is it an answer?
No. Has to be broken down into feet.
You got to put the feet on it, don't you? That's an answer. Okay? So, whenever possible, in this class or life in general, I would say, put the units on things. In this case, the units of measure here are feet. Okay, we're going to use these here in a minute. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I learned it like this, that's the length, and that's the length, and that's the width, and that's the width. The perimeter is length plus width, or twice the length plus twice the width. I know that. Okay.
50 foot 2 inches.
Do what?
It should be 50 foot 2 inches.
How many?
50 foot.
Well, I got 62. Let's do this. 12.4 is close to 12. It's close to 13 too. Let's call it 12. 12 doubled is 24. What about 18? That's kind of close to 20, isn't it? So 20 and 20 be 40 plus 20. How many is that? 60. So I like estimating, but I'm not sure that's telling us anything. See, our number was 62 point. Who got 62.3? How many people got 52.3? Okay. See if you lost a 1 there somewhere.
Well, when I add it up that way, I get 62.3, but when you add it up in feet and inches,
Well, you don't want to do that. That's different. Yeah, that's different.
well, you said to make it feet.
Well, but it's already in feet. See, the only unit we have to work with here, they're all in feet. Now you're right. If you're going to add things up, they all need to be in the same units.
Well,
But
because 75, if you put 18.75 in feet, that would be 18.9.
well, it's 18 feet 9 inches.
Right.
But that's different. That's different. That's different.
You got me confused.
Well, let's don't try to do two things at once. Not yet. We'll get there. So, what I was trying to prove to you here, among other things, is whenever I'm doing a calculation, I try to look at the numbers and see if I come up with a reasonable answer. If that's 12 and that's, say, even 18, 12 and 18 is 30, you double that, that's about 60. If I'd come up with an answer of 147, I would have said to myself, oops, something went wrong there. So I'm always looking at the reasonableness of an answer. Okay? And I do a lot of estimation. I'm not sure we even cover that in schools anymore, but so estimation I think is important. Always checking for the reasonableness of your answer. Now, one thing I could have written here for each of these, I could have written feet beside of each of these, reminding myself that I'm adding 4 different dimensions, but they're all in feet. Okay? Now, another thing I can tell you about perimeters, perimeter is linear. So your units are such things as inches, centimeters, feet, could be miles, kilometers. And I'll show you something here in a moment, and hopefully the distinction will become clear why I'm telling you that. Now, let me add something to our problem here. We found the perimeter. What if I said, what's the area?
Square footage.
Well, we're going to get there. How do you find the area? What is it? Length times the width. Okay, so in our case here, the length was 18.75 feet, wasn't it? And then our width was 12.4 feet. Calculator? .75 times 12.4. What'd y'all get? That's a number. What's that mean? Feet with a little 2 up above it there. What's that mean? What is it? It's feet squared. Why is it squared? Well, look, you're multiplying what by what? Feet by feet. So, feet multiplied by feet equals feet squared. Area is always something squared. Always. Of course, not area. So it could be centimeters squared, could be inches squared, could be feet squared, could be miles squared. Area is always squared. Always. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Now, you want to make it interesting? What now? You can speak up. This thing over here makes a bunch of racket. By the way, you can hear this in the videos too. You can hear that thing sitting there humming. Yeah. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. But if we didn't have that, we'd be burning up hot. So I guess we got to live with it. All right. So let's try something. Let's add a little wrinkle to this. Everybody okay? Nobody's head's exploded yet? Let's do this. Let's buy some carpet. Anybody ever buy any carpet? I'm really not a big fan of carpet myself. In the big scheme of things, I'd rather have some kind of hardwood or tile. But anyway, let's play along. We're going to buy some carpet. What do you know about carpet? How's carpet sold? Nope. It's sold by the yards. Now, but what really you're looking at is you're looking at a square yard. Okay? Now, in our area calculation here, do we have square yards? No. You think we can figure that out? Let me show you something. By the way, I love this. So, pay attention. I actually think this is very useful. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me do this first. I'm going to write something down here. 1 yard equals how many feet? No, you're not, you're ahead of yourself. Okay? We need to get out of carpentry because you're going to, no, 1 yard is 3 feet. All right, we all agree on that? We all know that, don't we? All right, we're going to use that. Watch. 232.5 square feet. And I'm going to write it like that. Feet times feet. Okay, that's square feet, isn't it? Feet times feet. Okay? And I put an equal sign there. I want to change that. I want to change this to square yards. So watch this. I'm going to multiply by something here, and I'm going to put feet on the bottom because I want to get rid of that. And I want yards on top because that's what I want. All right? Now watch. That foot cancels that foot. Okay? Now at this point here, what do I have? Feet times yards. That's not, I'm not done yet, am I? Let's do the same thing again. I'm going to multiply again by, put the feet on the bottom because I want to get rid of those. Put the yards on the top because that's what I want. That foot cancels that foot. Okay? Now watch this. Now that I did that, one of these is 3 of those, and one of these is 3 of those. Yards times yards on top is yards squared, or square yards. Now, doesn't this tell me what math I have to do? I got to take 232 and divide it by 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay? So let's do that, and then I'll show you why this works. Now, depending on which calculator you have, how many people have this graphing calculator? Y'all really need to get one of these. This is too cool. By the way, with the graphing calculator, I could have just did like a division sign there and it would have got me that answer. The previous answer, it would have filled it in for me. So here's what we're going to do. Times, oops, what is divide, aren't I? Divide by, now on the bottom I need 3 times 3, so I'm going to do parentheses, 3 times 3, close the parentheses. That is the 3 times the 3. I put it in parentheses to make sure the calculator did that first. You understand why that's important? You don't want to divide 232 and a half by 3 and then multiply by 3. That's not the right answer, is it? So by putting the parentheses around the 3 times 3, I'm keeping those two things together. I use a lot of parentheses, forcing the calculator to do what I want. Okay? So press enter. So what do we need? Well, actually we need 26 because I don't think they're going to sell you 8.83 of a yard.
26 square yards.
Yeah, round it up on this case, in that case. Now here's the whole idea. If you're sitting there thinking, why did this work? A couple of things. Really, we multiplied this by this by this, but what is this really? These two things are equal, aren't they? If you put something here and divide it by something equal to it, what is that really? It's just 1. And if you multiply something by 1, do you change its value? No. We just changed its units. Okay? That's why I wrote this first. Anything you can express as an equality, you can use to change units from one to another. Pretty cool, huh? And this is actually very useful. So now we know we need 26 yards of carpet. Well, in the carpet business, I don't think they even say yards or square. They just say yards.
Yeah.
And everybody understands it's square yards. But it really is square. The other thing I wanted to point out to you, just in case you're not necessarily visualizing this, got enough room here? Here's the thing. So that's a foot, that's a foot, that's a foot. That's a foot, and that's a foot, and that's a foot. If you fill all these in, you're going to get, let's go back to red.
It's like a light bulb. Yeah.
So there's kind of the proof. That's why we had 9 on the bottom, because a square yard is actually made up of 9 square feet. Now, some people just remember that because they used to be a carpenter. But there's a lot of things that we don't use in everyday life. So we may not remember that and have to, all I need to do is, if I can look this up, if I can find this somewhere, I'm good to go, because I know how to change units. Okay? So let's see here. Any questions on this? All right, y'all continue working on those worksheets that I just passed out. And so let's do another one of these, and then we'll declare victory and go home. Say, for example, we had how about convert 14.6 feet to 2 inches. Now, a little hint here. There's going to be 2 steps here. There's 2 parts to this. First, deal with the 14, and then we'll deal with the 0.6. So, remember, what do you know about feet and inches? One of these is 12 of these. Okay? There's that equal sign. And if we got an equal sign there, we can use that to convert units. So start with the 14 feet. Now you can start with 0.6 if you want to. It doesn't make any difference. So 14 of these guys, we're going to multiply by something here, and we want to get rid of feet, so we put feet in the bottom, and we want to wind up with inches, so we put inches on top. So what's the difference? What's the relationship between inches and feet? Well, one of these is 12 of those. That cancels that. Are y'all okay with this whole idea of units will cancel each other out? Remember back when you did fractions? You cancel out numbers. Units cancel too. Everybody okay with that? All right. So this tells us if we multiply 14 by 12, we'll have the part of the answer. Let me do this real quick. I need to pull this out and put it on this page. Take screenshot. Some of these virtual calculators are a lot easier. You can just pull it out. This one you got to work at it a little harder. So now I clear that. So 14 times 12, enter. So that looks like 168, what's our units? Inches. Okay, so we're part of the way there, aren't we? So now, next, deal with the 0.6 part. Actually, we probably could have done this all at once. We'll do it in two pieces. Now I'll think about it. After I think about it a while, we can probably do all this at once. I'll show it to you in two pieces because sometimes you might just want that part there. Same thing we did before, 0.06 feet. We want to get rid of the feet, so we put that on the bottom. We want to wind up with inches, so we put that on top. What's the relationship? Well, 12 of these is one of those. So, this tells us if we multiply 0.6 times 12, we're going to get 7.2 inches. Total equals 168 plus 7.2. Inches. And of course I was trying to make this, I wanted to show you how to deal with that, but watch, I'm pretty sure we could have done this all at once. Let's try this. 14.6 feet times, and again, feet on the bottom, we want to get rid of that, inches on top, that's what we want. 12 of these, one of those, and let's see, that cancels that. So we could have done this all at once, but I guess it doesn't hurt to prove every once in a while that math really does work. So 14.6 times 12, we get the same thing. Yay! Okay. All right. I'd say just take your worksheets home, finish those. I'll look at the chapter on decimals and see if there's anything in there that's, really interesting. I'm still wondering where I did with my book. I don't think I took it to the car. I bet I did, though. I bet it's in the back seat of my car. Yeah, just give them to me next time. We'll look at them next time. You can give it to me now, I'll lose it. Okay. Yeah, but then it's on your head. Does anybody have a book? Yeah, the problem is every once in a while you leave things out of order and you realize there's something back there that you should have done. Just look at chapter 6, percents and their applications. We'll make sure we get that right. What I wanted to do was fit on up into simple interest, because that's the thing we use most of in this class. But we'll make sure we get all this other stuff first.
The basics.
Yeah. Yeah, glance at it. Yeah. Just glance at chapter 6. Yeah.
Because you want more of these done?
Yeah, take it home, finish it. Bill's character.
So, you just like calculators, huh?
I just like math. Okay.
I hate math.
Well, I like tools. It's not just calculators, but
I like tools.
I have an extensive set of wrenches, and I just like tools. Okay. All right. See y'all Thursday. Be careful out there.